mentioned this surprising statistic. 79% of large cap mutual fund managers did not beat the S&P 500 last year. That's despite the fact that you're paying them a ton of dough to do better. As a result, my next guest says, hey, stop paying them so much money. Our expert, Matt McCall, CEO of Penn Financial Group, is here with helpful advice, and he knows a thing or two about this.
Sure.
What is wrong with these people? We pay them all this money, cuts into my returns. This is the worst showing since 1997. What gives?
Well, it was a very tough market, so I'll give them that. 2011 was tough. The problem is, though, when people buy into a mutual fund, they're not really sure what they're buying into. They see these, stocks that they list that their top 10 holdings that they held a few months ago, and think, well, they bought Apple at some point. I want to buy this mutual fund. Yeah. The problem is, I may be the manager. It may be a manager who's 60 years old or maybe 3 kids at 22 years old. You don't really know who's investing your money from day to day. What these actively traded mutual funds do is every day they're buying and selling stocks trying to beat the market. Anybody who's ever tried to do that knows how difficult it is. And for them to make money, what they need to do is charge you a lot of money. So not only are you underperforming the index, you're paying them a lot of money to underperform.
That is not a good place to be, my friend. It seems like they should do better. They're so smart, and they don't. So you say one solution is buy an index fund, for the love of God, right?
Well, this stat that we just put up there, 79% of the large cap actively managed mutual funds can't keep up with the S&P 500, which is the main index we follow in the stock market. You can go out there right now and buy the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, which is an exchange-traded fund. Trade just like a stock every day. You can buy and sell it. And the fee for that is 0.06%. I mean, it's a few pennies on your investment versus the average that they're charging right now for actively managed is 1.3%. So you're paying 21 times more with a 1 in 5 chance. I mean, the odds aren't in your favor. It's like sitting down at a blackjack table and telling you, you have an 80% chance you're going to lose this hand. Why would you keep going back to that blackjack table?
I think that's an absolutely perfect way to describe it. Now, you have an actual example of a fund. And I don't have it written on this particular full screen. But
so it's actually the iShares Emerging Market ETF. So what this does...
And this would be a place where you might want to sock away some money,
exactly.
Right?
It invests in China, Brazil, all the big emerging markets. Within this fund, there's over 1,000 stocks. So you're very diversified. And you look at the chart here. This actually outperformed an Oppenheimer Emerging Markets mutual fund, which is one of the biggest out there. I mean, it crushed it over the last 5 years. This charges an expense ratio, the iShares ETF, about 0.68%, where at the same time, the Oppenheimer charges you over 2% a year. So again, you're paying over 3 times as much to over a 5-year period, Jerry. You're lagging about 20 to 30%. Plus, you're paying an extra, 1.4% per year. It makes no sense to be in an actively managed mutual fund to me. I mean, I don't own any for my clients. I mean, if we index, we will go after exchange-traded funds. I think it's the only way to go because the odds aren't that you're going to be able to beat the market.
It's cheapo. It's a great way to invest. You invest across the entire market, so you do as well as the market does. You don't rely on somebody to pick and choose for you. But you say there are occasionally times that you do like these actively managed funds, but it's special occasions. What are they?
There's going to be a few managers that are always, of course, going to beat the market. Bill Miller for years, over a decade, beat the market. And then he had one really bad year where he's down 50%. But you can find managers, if you do your research and due diligence and find funds and you know the manager and what they're doing, yeah, there are a couple out there. But even when it comes to ETFs, exchange-traded funds, you can invest in anything these days. You can invest in small cap agricultural companies. You can invest in Indonesia, you name it. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. I think that's where investors should be looking going forward.
All right. Matt, great stuff. I really broke it down for us. I think people feel like they really get their arms around it.
So stay away from the blackjack table, I guess.
Stay away from the blackjack. All right. Okay.